Across Nigeria, public schools shape the dreams of millions.
I want to become a pharmacist in the future.
But behind the morning chants and chalk-stained fingers lies a quiet struggle.
You have some of them not even being able to write their names properly or the names of the schools they are coming from.
You know, the minimum requirement of teaching profession is NCE because teachers now need training.
If teachers do not have an incentive to want to go into rural environments, they will not go.
The West African Examination Council, or WASK, has been a cornerstone of education in Anglophone West Africa since 1952. It conducts the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, commonly known as WASK.
WASK result is an assessment. It's an assessment. It's a standard assessment. An assessment usually has scorecards of, children's learning in a system.
Data from the National Bureau of Statistics indicates that between 2019 and 2021, public schools across Nigeria presented a total of 2,548,673 candidates for the West Africa Senior School Certificate Examination, WASK. But when it comes to actual performance, especially the crucial benchmark of passing 5 subjects, including mathematics and English, the numbers show that in 2019, out of 879,431 public school candidates, only 447,809 made the cut. That's just over half of the candidates. In 2020, out of 830,756 public school students that sat for the exam, only 51% passed with 5 credits, including math and English. In 2021, the registered number of candidates increased again to 838,486. Only 618,858 achieved the minimum 5 credits benchmark.
In 2023, we recorded a malpractice rate of about 16% in the school candidate exam. Whereas in last year, 2024 school candidate examination, the malpractice rate was about 11.6%.
Fast forward to 2024. Lagos State, for instance, recorded an alarming failure rate of students it sponsored to write the 2024 WASK. Data released by the state government showed that less than half of the students passed English and mathematics. The government also says performance levels do not reflect the state's investment in education. These figures raise important questions. What's really driving this poor performance across Nigeria?
Poor foundation is a major reason. If the primary education is not sound enough, it's a problem in the secondary school level.
And so, while I continue to just pass through the system, when I get to SS3, it shows in the quality of young people that you have as a system. It shows in the quality of undergraduates that you have.
We're going to see a shift in the quality of individuals that can join the labor force from Nigeria. As we see right now, students are not even attaining foundation literacy.
To understand the evolving landscape of public education in Nigeria, we turn to the voices of those who have experienced it firsthand, spanning generations. 4 decades ago, a young Chris Nwandu stepped into Ojota Secondary School in southwest Lagos, embarking on a journey that would shape his future. Having risen to prominence as a media entrepreneur, Chris recalls a time when public schools were less about fees and more about academic rigor.
Only that we were not paying, our parents were not paying free. We were also giving free books. Throughout my secondary school, my parents never bought book for one day. We were given the opportunity to be able to put in hard work.
2 decades later, a young boy named Adegboyega Adekunle walked the same path, this time through the gates of Ibadan Grammar School in southwest Nigeria. Today, he runs a thriving business, but the memories of his school days haven't faded.
We have equipment, the laboratory was there, biology lab, chemistry lab, physics lab, technical drawing lab. So the facilities were there they were fantastic then.
Like Chris, Adegboyega believes something has shifted, and with fellow alumni, he's helping to restore the system that shaped them.
Now the old students have been playing fantastic role in supporting the progress of the school in terms of providing necessary facilities, the structures, even supporting the students that their parents are not well to do.
It's 2025. While alumni like Chris and Adegboyega are trying to patch up the cracks, students like this young girl are still learning within them. It's almost time for her to write her WASK in public secondary school in southwest Nigeria. We're keeping her identity hidden, but she wants her story heard.
Some things I wish it would be better in my school are the toilets, the classrooms. Like the classrooms, the ceilings are off, no windows, no doors, and the laboratory are very bad.
Learning demands have evolved over the decades, yet the core need remains to provide quality education for all. That comes with a debate of whether the quality still exists.
The infrastructure that we have mostly in our public school was not there in the private school, because you may see a lot of private school doesn't have qualified teachers, doesn't have much adequate science equipment, doesn't have facilities that can cater the need of the student.
In one of the states where I have done research, visited a school, and I found absolutely no teacher. But the funny thing is, I found students in that school, public school students in that school, wearing their school uniforms, and then they had to move into a community-owned school just because there was no teacher in the public school.
This government has paid 2018 leave bonus, they paid 2019, we paid 2020, we paid 2021, we paid 2023. So the one that is being prepared for payment now is that of 2024, to ensure that teachers are motivated to do their work the way they're supposed to do.
There are also concerns local to specific communities.
Most of the secondary school in Kano State, we have this security problem. 1, 2, most of the parents nowadays, they neglect their work of sending them school.
There's a time in a girl's life where she's more at risk of dropping out. And those are the times in her life that we need to actually provide the support to keep girls in school and keep them learning.
We're looking at things like bullying. We're looking at things like abuse, sexual abuse, neglect, special needs, special education needs, and so many things that are linked to safety and well-being.
Another concern is, with distractions like smartphones and games which didn't exist back then, are students really learning?
Destructive tendency of the social media is a major problem.
Yes, it can be a distraction if, there's like unlimited and unregulated use of social media. Like the reason why technology is introduced in classrooms has to be well defined and well targeted. Prioritizing access, learning, and skills so that children are able to support themselves in future, break the cycle of poverty, and also contribute to the innovative and competitiveness of the country and the continent.
Organizing workshop, seminars to the teachers, thereby teaching them new modern method of teaching.
Government also must pump funding into research.
I won't lie to you that there are still a lot to be done, and I believe we are work in progress.
This student sits in class like millions of others across the country, hopeful that what she's learning will count for something someday, just like it did for Chris and Adegboyega. The question is, will Nigeria give her and every child the kind of education that will prepare them for the future. Mercy Frank, Gist, Nigeria.